not manipulating higher, then ultimately I would say that our buy is going to be that much more of a higher probability, because now what we're doing is we're leaving even highs for the future to take in the market. Now, it still, for me, makes sense for them to actually manipulate first to take out early sellers. But once again, the market doesn't have to do what I think. All I need to do is take what I believe is high probability, high risk to reward setups and take advantage of that. So let's go ahead and mark out the structure here before the open happens. We have a good low that was established before the market made its high. They came and shifted that low, pulled back, and broke that structure here. Since 850, they gave this little spike and they ran all the way internal, but they did not make a higher high. So as of right now, we just rejected now from a fair value gap. And I want everybody to actually have their accounts ready, because depending on how they set up for the open, we can take a trade right off of the open. Preferably, though, after 10 to 15 minutes is the best entries, because the market will typically slow down. But you never know. There sometimes presents themselves a really good opportunity. So as of right now, we're breaking structure back to the downside. And this could be a very fast and smooth move. I would love to catch it off of one of these new fair value gaps that they may create on their way down, because they are now confirming that, hey, structure is now shifted, and this fair value gap that I was looking at up here on the 3-minute and 5-minute is potentially about to be closed on that 5-minute at open. So this was a 3-minute fair value gap. They've completely closed below it. Now we just have to try to catch a fair value gap. So right now,
order filled.
For everybody to get a feel of it, you will place you a small sell here at this fair value gap that we just tipped into. My stop loss will go above
order submitted.
That fair value gap, the candle that created the fair value gap. Now for a short-term target, we will be looking at these lows. So let's say if this was not the first day and I wasn't trying to throw everybody's prepared and comfortable with the risk, I would be placing a lot larger of a position, at least 5 micros, which would be a risk of about $100. The target would be at the minimum a 1 to 3, so about $300, but we would be looking for them to touch back into this inversion. So that would be $100 for $500, about a 1 to 5, almost 1 to 6, just off of this opportunity. So it's not so much about, oh, is the trade absolutely going to win? It's taking advantage of these opportunities when they present themselves. So as of right now, we're in on this very small, 1-minute fair value gap. We have everything here. I still believe that the market has a strong potential to go up, but I'm going to hold this trade regardless, because it's not about winning, losing. It's literally about, can you trade freely and just trade what the market is showing you and trade with that without trying to get too caught up in a prediction. You got to follow the market, not what you necessarily think is always going to happen. Like I said, the volatility in the market is what's going to take care
Order submitted.
of your trading, the volatility in the market. So if the market shoots down, we can move our stop to break even. So there you go right here. And right now, even if it pulls back, it's fine, but I'm letting the volatility of the market handle business. I'm not going to mess
Order
with
filled.
it. There you go.
Order canceled.
First win of the day, right? Very small loss. Nice first win. I'm using the smallest positions. That's a $34 win. But it's an example of how I had one idea. The idea didn't go as expected, which is fine. I had a very close stop. I wasn't dragging my stop all the way down here so that I could be right because I was afraid of getting the stop loss hit. No, I let the market show me what it was going to do. It showed me. I allowed for it to dip into a fair value gap. I took my position. I knew that they would at least come to these lows. And it's very possible now that they may just continue down until we get to our buy level. So as of right now, I'm actually waiting. As I said before, you know, I was on a call with a student last week. After about 10, 15 minutes, the market shows you what it's going to do, especially if you know what I know or know what some of my other students know about the markets. It's going to show you what it's going to do, and it's not going to be that difficult to see it. You just have to have your charts marked and prepared. So what did it just show us now? It came right into a 1 hour fair value gap right here. And it never dived back into these levels lower yet. When I see that, what it makes me think is that we are actually, we just did a low time frame manipulation to the downside for a potential buy above these highs back to this level. So you see, guys, 1 minute candle manipulation down. What we would like to see is them potentially coming back in this structure right here. They may or may not. But obviously my first bias wasn't so off. I don't believe that it was. This is not a sell setup anymore, guys. This is more like manipulation, and then they can go on and run these even highs that they just left. And they just induced sellers that were too greedy, and in one candle took them all back. And now they're not even going to give those people a chance. So we don't get a chance to really get in, but they're not going to give sellers a chance to get out. They're going to explode past these highs. And then we just wait, because then we need to wait for the potential opportunity to sell down to the real levels that the market actually wants to get to, because this wasn't it. Drop some sevens in the chat if everything is making sense, guys. If everything is making sense, if this is giving you guys some value, some insight about how to manage and watch the markets, just drop some sevens in the chat. We got to break, guys. We can break. We don't have to move too fast right now. Typically, this is not going to fall off the moon right away, right? We got at least a good 3 to 5 minutes for them to give us a good setup, because I'm not going to just take the entry blindly. Perfect. So I have one person that said they have a hard time understanding how I found the sell opportunity. The sell opportunity is fairly simple, but I don't think you've ever taken my my boot camp. So of course it would be a little bit harder without the prerequisite knowledge. But for the sell opportunity, I was looking for a buy here because at this point in time, the market had not yet shifted back to bearishness. So it was a potential that they could just go for the highs from here before doing what they did here. Now that was a lot lower probability, but I took the buy off of a very small potential opportunity that came from them giving me this 1 minute engulfing after taking this internal low. So since they held this fair value gap on the 1 minute and then closed below this structure and then closed below this structure, they actually began to create a lower time frame bearish trend, which the only exit for that trend would be more than likely below these lows. So I found my opportunity off of a fair value gap that they dived into, which is called a breakaway gap. So this gap was them breaking a low, but there was no buying offered in this range. So therefore, when they wicked back above this previous 1 minute candle's high into this breakaway gap, I just know off of experience that this is my entry opportunity and that my stop loss can go above that candle, and that the chances in this situation for me to, because the New York Open is happening in like 3 minutes, the chances of all the volatility falling in my favor, was very high potential. All right, guys. So we waited 3 minutes. They hit to the exact area that I expected. And now we are about to experience the sell that was supposed to happen. And now we're going to find our entries. So as of right now, we have a breaker block and they are moving. But I'm going to keep the session light on the anxiety because I already know what trading can do to get people, and everything that happens and every move that happens, people feel like they're going to miss out on it. So what we're not going to do today is chase anything, okay? Nothing's going to be chased. Everything is going to come to us. So as of right now, we are coming back into my inversion that they just filled after taking buy side here. This is a position for a sell opportunity right here.
Order filled.
So if you want, you can take a sell right now with the stop above this wick.
Order submitted.
Okay? Giving you guys an opportunity. Okay. Stop is going above this wick right here. As the market continues to confirm in our direction, I will end up compounding this trade if it gives me a chance. If it moves too fast, then I probably might miss it. But if they give me good opportunities of pullbacks, then I will compound this trade. I have not put a TP yet because as of right now, we're so early in the New York Open that it honestly should just give us a very nice move. Like putting a TP right now would just be squeezing ourselves out of a great trade. Ugh. We just hit the daily open. Now what we're going to do is we'll wait for this 1 minute candle to close because there's no reason to take out the trade. That them crossing the daily open, we may go into, let's say, like we probably actually might pull back pretty deep. So I'm still going to hold the trade though, because they showed me the direction. Mav said, great call. Yes, sir. I'm happy you were able to hop on. You already knew how it was coming. So yeah, them hitting I mean, I would love for them to just keep dropping hard. They could pull back, but I'm not really concerned. If they pull back, it's not going to change my trade. It's not going to change my entry. At this point, we're up 100 points. Guys, 100 points in 3 minutes. Come on, man. Midnight open is around here. All right. To not be that guy, we'll set a TP right here.
Order submitted.
And I'll set a stop here and just knock myself out of
Order
the trade.
submitted.
Knock myself out of the trade if they come back. I'm not worried about it. But there's nothing else to prove. Sometimes, like I said, the trading stuff is very simple, especially around New York Open. They're going to make big moves. What's the point of showing up at any other time, overcomplicating trading when you could just, body the market in a few minutes and make the points that people be waiting hours for, but don't know what's actually going on. So as of right now, I've basically put a buy stop, which would take me out of my sell, and a
Order
buy limit
canceled.
that will also take me out of my sell for a deeper profit. So that is win-win either way. But if they continue, I can actually play with this a little bit too. I can move this down and then keep moving this down. You don't have to do that, but it's just an example of something that you can do.
Order filled.
And we're out again.
Order canceled.
So 2 wins back to back. Nice, big, fast wins. Really, honestly, might end the session after this, but I do want to show some people a few things. So there's 3 ways that you can enter into the market. Okay. What I like to do is I like to right click and click trade and, set that
Order
limit.
submitted.
Or
Order canceled.
in the top left and right, you can just click buy or sell, and that will enter you into the market right away. Secondly, you can actually use the short and long position tools. So if it's a short position, if you right click it and select create limit order, it will actually create that order for you. You just got to put in the units. So there we go. So boom.
Order submitted.
So this just created an order opportunity, and you can drag it and, create what you want to create with that limit order. Additionally, but very similarly, you can also hit the
Order
button
canceled.
down here, which is trade. You can hit trade and you'll just drag whatever it is. So right now, if you were looking for a sell, then you would, put sell limit if the market is below it, sell stop if, for example, if you expect the market to continue to sell, you could click sell stop, and then you would just hit the sell button if it comes through that order. So
Order
example,
submitted.
if they hit this order, they would then continue down.
Order canceled.
Or we could go here for buy limit. So let's say you expect for the market to go up. You'll put a limit here, TP up here, stop loss down here, and you'll click a buy limit. So there's actually multiple different ways to enter into the market. If I'm on my laptop, I'm just being honest, I like to just manually enter my trades, or I'll just click the plus sign here or right click on the screen and click trade, and just whatever price my crosshair is on, that's where the order will be. That's where the order will be hit. So really nice entries. I'm not, yeah, so there goes the entries for the day. Really, really nice one, really nice one. Let's see who's all on the call. Yes, is it possible to add a stop loss once you enter a position without a stop loss? Yes. How would you do that? So let's say, for example, you enter a trade for a
Order
buy.
submitted.
Let's say it's a sell limit, right? And let's just say this trade is active. If you want to add a stop loss to this trade, all you would do is put a buy stop.
Order submitted.
It's like balancing your order, because to sell one contract from here, the way that you would have to exit that trade is by buying it. If you're buying it at a higher price, then essentially that's a loss. If you're buying it at or putting a buy order at a lower price, and that's a win. So yes, this is considered in this situation is going to be a stop loss for this sell order. So if they activated this sell order, they dropped down, but then they pushed up, you'll be buying it at a higher price that would take you out for a loss, but it will act as a stop loss. So this is how I set my stop losses and TPs, even though I didn't the order didn't come with one in the beginning. You just have to put the opposite order. And if you need to, you can
Order canceled.
practice, create a demo account, get practice and get comfortable with doing that. We're now approaching 9:15. We've already won the day, to be honest. Like, I'm trying to show you guys something for here. It's I don't know, when did TP hit for us? 9:40. Really, you should just be showing up at around 9:15, 9:20, 9:30. What I just showed can be done nearly every single day. The market responds the same way. It's going to run for some higher time frame liquidity or some lower time frame sell side liquidity, and you're going to be able to take advantage of these opportunities if you use the exact strategies that I've taught always. Our major setup always is going to come off of running a buy side or sell side target. We're always going to find our best entries, right? If, for those that watch Love Your Entries video, we're always going to find our best entries off of a fair value gap. All right, that's where we're going to find our best entries off of a nice fair value gap, and it's also going to give us our best risk to reward as well, because it's typically only 1 to 2 candles away for the stop loss. We're going to have all of our levels marked. A big part of what I was able to do today was based off of already knowing all the key levels. I understood that we were in an accumulation that will manipulate. I laid out what the next high is that they would hit. I laid out the daily open, which also helped me manage the rest of my trade here. That when they passed it, I was able to put a stop loss right above it, and they went down and continued to hit my stop loss. I have this area here at the midnight open. That guess what? That's exactly where they just rejected from. I also laid out from the very beginning of the day that hey, we're on electronic trading hours. The market never closed the gap during New York. So guess what? What did they just do? They didn't fully close it, but they did hit one of the candles from the previous day there. The full close is a little bit lower. But I said, hey, it's a good chance that even though from a regular point of view, they've already closed the gap, that what's important is that the New York actual open closes or goes inside of this gap. And I said, hey, they're going to more likely come back into there, but we need to allow the market to manipulate first. I went for the manipulation early, which can sometimes happen, but I was wrong. And I was quickly wrong within one candle, which is the best. You rather be wrong quick so you can do what I did, which was quickly adjust and make back 3-4 times as much as you just lost. Then now you're in a calm position to be able to let the market do what it does, allow for it to prove or show its direction, show its true colors. We saw the market drop all the way down into this candle, and I said, we are not chasing. It pulled back. The next candle opened and went up and then filled the new fair value gap that they had just created. You have to be able to react to that instantaneously. If you're not, you're probably going to miss the best entry. The second best entry would have been here after the close. This is fine. This is a fine entry. You're just not making as much as I would have for entering here. So there's still more to do today. As I said before, the odds are today may still look for higher highs. And I said that ultimately in the long scheme of things, either they make a low here or they come even lower and ultimately make uh, a lower low compared to this, but overall it's a higher low compared to here and here. It's at this point we're waiting for like 10, right? Like waiting for like the 4-hour candle to close. Guess what? If that 4-hour candle ain't closing a huge bearish candle, it's probably still bullish. I really do want to see them come down here though. I'm not gonna lie. If they were to come down into this level, that would be like really strong for a buy, but I feel like that wouldn't really happen until after this 4-hour candle closes. So that will create what we call a power of three open, low, high, close situation where the candle opens up here, drops down to begin its life cycle, taking out the internal sell side liquidity and dipping into this 4-hour fair value gap. But by 2 p.m. it turns back bullish. That would make sense. But yeah, let's clean off some of this stuff from the charts. And I want to kind of open up the call for questions real quick. But we're gonna be off of here at 10, guys. We'll hop back on tomorrow, but y'all see what's going on, and y'all will know what to expect. This is a nice continuation on the sale here. Look at that right off the top of this fair value gap that I have. So real quick, this 4-hour fair value gap allows for me to almost like predict my whole day when the market is trading in between one of these levels. This is what you call a Z fair value gap. It's something that I came up with, but I love it. And it gives me 1 minute opportunities out the wazoo. So them coming above this daily open, that's what this red line is, into this new breakaway gap, and then hitting the very top of that inverse fair value gap there. I mean, it's just like perfection. This is a continuation sell now at 950. This is now confirmed as a continuation sell. So just gotta wait out whatever it may try to do in here. I don't know if they will, or if they're hype enough to come back into that fair value gap, but yeah, more than likely continuation on the sale. I would suspect. All right, let me see here. Stop share camera. Okay, Victor, how do I add my stop ahead of time before I enter? To add your stop ahead of time before you enter, then you need to enter with a pending, and it needs to come with all the pre requisites. So you could use the buy and sell tool, which I'm sure you're familiar with, Victor, and then you need to turn it into an order. So yeah, guys, if you got any questions, this is the time, and I'll actually go through everything one by one for the next 10 minutes. Do you need a demonstration of that, Victor, or no? But it's the buy and sell tool. Then just right click on it. Am I in a trade? No, my TP already hit for 100 points, bro. I don't know if y'all, I don't know if you were on at that time. How do you get access to the boot camp? Oh, just yeah, direct message me, P. So first and foremost, guys, today we are on micro NQ because this is high volatility. You don't need a large amount of risk. You don't even have to be using full micro contracts. This is a lot of volatility. If I used a one contract on that trade, that would have been $2,000 in, what is that, 5 minutes? Yes, this video is going to be posted in the Discord. And well, it's going to be posted on Memberful. It's going to be posted on Memberful. So yeah, this happens every single day. And it's so crazy that people just don't realize what's going on. And it does take a lot of it takes a lot of practice, but that's what we're going to do these live sessions for. Y'all going to see me do this every single day. You're going to see me take a few losses, and then you're going to see me make some big wins, and you're going to learn that all we're doing is managing risk in a volatile situation that is actually set up for us to win. It's not even set up for us. I honestly believe it's set up for us to win because you can't deny that the big moves, when they move, they're moving large, and you don't have to only take a little bit of it. You could take a lot of it. You could literally allow the market to just continue to pay you, but you can limit your losses to exactly what you want. Which personally for me, I like to limit it to about 1 to 2 candles away. I want to time my trade to the point where my stop loss is probably a candle or two away. But my TP is going to be an hour, a 4 hour, low, a whole session time away. It's going to be from the New York high to the London low. Like that. That is how you put yourself in position to win. But for you, Victor, use your buy and sell tool on a chart. You right click it and you just create limit order. Okay. If you don't want to do it that way, then you'll have to do it this way. And I'll just show you real quick. If you don't want to do it that way, you have to do it this way. And this means you have to just kind of understand the orders. Oh, they came perfectly into that fair value gap. Let's just take a small
Order
position.
filled.
So boom, I enter the order and then immediately
Order submitted.
I'm clicking a buy stop right above it. This is now my stop loss. immediately, just like that. That was my stop loss. Okay. They're about to attack these two lows right here. See, I already had it marked. Boom. We out just like
Order
that.
filled.
Again, more profit. Right. This is on a real account, by the way. I'm actually doing a special evaluation with my fund of futures, trying to get back to a live account with them. Um, it's an account that they gave me for people that's been live before. So this is all real. This actually matters to me. Um, it's actually matters to me, and it's actually being copied to other accounts as well. So